So today we've got the most incredible woman who I've had the pleasure of meeting, not only meeting, but being in one of your amazing workshops. Teymara, Wright, welcome. I'm going to do a little intro because it's a long intro, but because you just do so much and you help so many. But you're an incredible individual whose seminars, insight sessions and trainings have the power to change people's lives and turn businesses around. I've seen that firsthand. She's renowned for her outstanding results as a holistic life coach, a motivational trainer, a health and emotional eating expert, an intuitive insight consultant, an anti-aging advisor, a relationship coach.
Yes. Yeah, don't believe in aging.
And a motivational speaker, of course. You've consulted many incredibly talented and notable people across diverse backgrounds and achievements in music and television, sport, business and politics. And you've improved people's lives and helped so many to cope with life's challenges by getting them back on track, particularly these days. And you can find Teymara Wright on www.teymara.com, as well as Facebook, Teymara Antonio-Wright, and Instagram at Teymara Inc. So welcome, Teymara. How are you?
Thank you, Helen. Great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. We're good.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Teymara. Thanks for joining us.
So,
Hi.
Teymara,
No, thank you.
I mean, we've all got questions for you, and there's so much we want to know. I know I gave you our birth dates, so I mean, shall we start with that?
Absolutely. It's like each individual has their own vibration. And as I explain to people, when I look at people, I look at them as being vehicles, and the vehicle has an energy, and the energy inside the vehicle is the energy of the soul. So the soul comes onto the planet, into the vehicle. So we're actually doing our soul's journey. And that's what it's basically all about. So we've got to learn to actually step aside, get rid of all of the negativity that is stopping that expression coming through. So it's like with Pete and also with Jack, the both of you have exactly the same vibration for this particular year. Wow. So Pete started in March, and Jack, yours started in your September of last year. And this is all about breaking free. This is about I'm wanting to get out. I'm wanting to be around a whole lot of new people. The month energy for the both of you personally for June is a month vibration of endings. So getting very clear about everything that you no longer want in your life and doing something about clearing the way. With Helen and Catherine, I mean, this is just like amazing. The both of you are in exactly the same year vibration as well. Helen, you started yours in August of last year. Catherine, you picked it up in March of this year. And this energy is all about business. It's about money. It's about where you're living, and it's about how you're living. So getting very clear about that. And June for the both of you is a month of freedom, change, variety, travel, movement, people, fun. Yeah. So
sounds good to me.
So it's like, and by being clear at that subconscious level, then what happens is that you leave yourself open for the universe to bring everything into you. But if you're not clear at that subconscious level, you'll actually create blocks, and which then leads to a whole lot of frustration. So then by looking at what's going on now and what has been going on, the most important thing I'm saying to people in regard to our way out is get rid of fear. Fear is the worst that you can actually be functioning with at this particular point in time. So I've been supporting a lot of people. Fear of financial scarcity, fear to do with fear of the future, fear of the unknown. All of that energy has created a lot of problems for people. Being in present time, very important. Taking total responsibility. By taking responsibility, you can then change things. If you don't take responsibility, you then become a victim to circumstance. So, and then we've also got the energy of like creating a lot of change, because it is the year vibration to do with transformation that I said in January. And of course, this year has actually shown that, you know, very, very strongly, and will continue to show that. So again, it's like it's the death of the old, the birth of the new, the death of the old, the birth of the new, the death of the old, the birth of the new. Now, because of the energy of COVID, we've got to look at our health. Our health is number one priority. Immune system, number one priority going forward. What lowers your immunity? Stress lowers your immunity. What else do we have around that? We have negative emotions. Any negative emotion, it's like, is going to lower the immune system. Alcohol, smoking, all drugs, processed food, fried food, sugar, being overweight. So it needs to be our number one priority to get in and to make sure that we are eating healthy foods, make sure our immunity is up. So we've got to make sure that we've got our gut is functioning properly. So we've got to get our probiotics happening, yeah? And by doing that, the probiotics in the gut is then going to support with the immune system, yeah? Like very important.
People,
okay,
Teymara, can I just say, people say that the gut is almost like the second brain, isn't it?
It is. Absolutely it is. And do you know what it's like? It's stronger than the brain.
Well, I know when I'm really hungry at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it seems to be stronger than my gut. Certainly seems to be stronger than my brain.
Okay, so 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're talking about your adrenals. So there's some really good supplements out there to do with building up your adrenals and strengthening your adrenals. So I take 2 adrenal support at 10 o'clock in the morning and 2 at 3 in the afternoon. And if I'm presenting a seminar, they're just there all the time. So every break I go up and I pop one of the adrenal supports. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And how have you found just people, obviously, you know, you're starting to meet with clients. Have you been doing more of that? Obviously, you've been doing Zoom meetings with clients. Have you found
Jack,
that
it's like it's been like I'd have to say a bit of a nightmare because it's like I've been on like Skype to clients all over the world. It's like all having meltdowns. Yeah. A lot of people have been suicidal. The domestic violence has gone like through the roof. So like working with couples, working with guys, like in regard to that, supporting the mums in regard to getting the kids out of the home, out of the environment as much as possible. Yeah. So it's like, okay, we're going off and we're going to be doing some exercise. Yeah. Because I tend to find that it's like the guys find it very, very difficult to actually step forward and say, hey, I need help, I need support here. But what they find with me is that it's like the work that I do is totally confidential, and it's like, and the guys or anyone that does domestic violence, it's like there's a lot of unresolved issues that are there from childhood that need to be dealt with. Yeah.
Yes.
Guys at the moment are having meltdowns because it's like I can't afford to pay this, I can't afford to pay that, and this is where I've looked at a lot of people living beyond their means. It's like, you know, you don't need the big house, you don't need the big car if it's going to put you into a whole lot of debt, because if things like this happen, there's no money behind you. All you're doing is working paycheck to paycheck, and it's like, and you're in a really, really like difficult situation. So I've actually supported some people financially during this period of time because they've needed that help, and your kids can't go hungry.
Teymara, I was just going to say before, and just on the topic of, you know, bringing your childhood baggage, if you like, into future relationships. All of us have been through separation here as a teen in our private lives, and I'm wondering, you know, with people actually moving on into new relationships, how can you give us some tips around maybe healing some of that hurt? There's a lot of people you see that tend to go from one relationship to the next, to the next, to the next, and they don't actually have a lot of time on their own to actually just be present and work on themselves and heal. So I wonder if you've got some advice and some tips for all of us, and obviously for other people that are joining us on the show.
Look, I started doing the Born to Be Free seminar 29 years ago, and that was all about, that was to do with my journey. So for me, it's like I had like lack of confidence, low self-esteem, fear of saying no, need to be liked, fear of financial scarcity. Like, you know, I had the whole kit and caboodle. So it was doing the journey to get rid of all of that. And I didn't realize exactly what was going on until around about the age of 37. And my last divorce was 40. I've been married 3 times. Okay. And what I say to individuals is, it's like you have to go back and you have to transform all of your negative subconscious patterning that comes in from that early childhood, because the birth to the age of 10 is when all of that forms. And from birth to the age of 5, we have no conscious logic, so we actually absorb everything on an emotional level. 6 to the age of 10, the conscious logic starts to happen, yeah? So if we have all of that unresolved inside of us as an adult, what we're going to do, we actually attract in what it is that we need to heal. So we go from the same relationship. So I say to people, I married the same man 3 times.
Yeah.
Did I marry the same? You know, no, I married the same personality type of men who were persecutors. That then goes back to my childhood, where I had parents who were, both of them were persecutors. So it was what my subconscious mind knew. So, and when I did that work, then I stopped attracting in the persecutors. But I started a program called Also Heal Your Heart, because I was finding that doing Born to Be Free was really great, but then people still had like unresolved emotional pain that they were carrying. I thought, right, okay, I need to get in. We need to work with that as well. Yeah. But you bleed all, I say to people, the wounds that you receive from your past relationships, if you don't heal them, you're going to bleed all over people that come into your life from that point on.
Yeah, it's funny too that when you might be in a new relationship or you date someone new and they appear to be completely different to your past husband or your past partner, and then it's only in hindsight, perhaps when it doesn't work out, that you look back and you can see the patterns that although they might be a different personality or in a different industry or a different chemistry, but actually the basis of the pattern is still there, and they actually are really similar, and you're choosing the same sort of partners all the time. So it is really interesting.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. It's like I say to people, you know, it's not necessarily, don't beat yourself up, because it's not necessarily you choosing. It's your subconscious dynamic that holds a power of 90% that keeps on attracting them in. Yeah. So when you transform, when you transform that at a subconscious level, then life totally changes. Yeah. And I say to people, my last divorce was at 40 and I've never married again. And the men that I've had in my life have been like very, very different to those prior to that last divorce. Yeah. And the need to be in a relationship is no longer there, because I've transformed that from a subconscious level. The fear of being on my own, I transformed that. So therefore, it's like I'm okay being on my own. So therefore, the relationships that I have are not based on any form of need.
I've got the same not need to be in a relationship too now. Yay!
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's amazing. Yeah, it's because like as I also teach to tell a no.
Free, and it's just I'm so fine just being by myself.
And by being in that space, you leave yourself open to like attracting in someone. There's a friend of Helen's and myself, and she said the other day, you know, she said, I'm fine. Like, she did some one-on-one work with me in regard to transforming everything that she'd been carrying from her ex-husband, who she'd been married to for 30 years. And she said, I'm fine, I'm great, I'm happy, don't want to date. You know, she said, whereas I had that high need after divorcing to be in another relationship because I'd never known life without a man. Yeah. And so she's off walking her dog the other day, and she said, oh my God, she said, this gorgeous guy looked at me and smiled, and she said, no, I was picking up dog poo, you know. And she said, I just went, oh, that's nice. And she said, so I kept on my walk, and when I turned around, she said, lo and behold, she said, he was walking back We've exchanged phone numbers, and yeah. So when it's meant to happen, it happens. When
we've
you're
got another girlfriend who met somebody in the supermarket, haven't we, Helen?
That's it. That's it.
But for me, you know what, Teymara, I go from home to work, so no one's going to meet me, and it's fine.
Yeah, but another thing is that you go, home to work, but then you may go to a coffee shop or out to a restaurant with friends, and boom, there's somebody who's going to strike up a conversation with you.
Yes.
How just really quickly, Teymara, how long can you see someone how long can someone go through that process of transformation? I mean, obviously everyone's very different, everyone's circumstances are very different, but you know, can someone see a change in their life if they really wanted to commit to that within a matter of, say, weeks? Or, you know, do you sort of set expectations with people that it could take, you know, months and years? I mean, obviously it's an ongoing thing.
No. Look, I started doing, as I said, Born to Be Free 29 years ago. And with that program, people see change immediately. So I've studied, and I thought, right, if I'm going to be working with people, I need to get a lot of qualifications, because people's lives are extremely...
I was going to say, as evidenced by your background.
So you've got individuals, and their subconscious minds are so very, very powerful. So, you know, I say to people, I don't heal you, you heal you. However,
I was just going to say, I did Teymara's workshop, and I felt instantly the minute I left, and I remember ringing up Teymara, I think it was the following morning. I went into my car, and I know this sounds a bit creepy, and after chatting to the girls after your workshop, and it was that night, and I thought, because I'd cried in your workshop because it was so powerful, and I pulled down my mirror, and my mother, I saw my mother. It was me, but I saw my mother. And it was like, and she was smiling at me, and I freaked out because I'd never seen my mother before, and she passed away 10 years ago. So that's how powerful I felt, but that was my own experience. And every day from that, I could feel the transformation of the way I think, I see things, the way I handle situations, and everything from compromising situations to conflict to every single thing. It's completely
allowing yourself to be used.
But because our healing is too
generous. Thing. Too generous to the wrong people.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's been amazing. Look, that's just such a fascinating viewpoint on old Teymara. I mean, I've certainly got a lot out of that, and obviously Pete and I, we're often we've got to get. What have we got? The same vibe? No, we've got the same vibrator. What have we got? We've got the same vibrator.
You're in the year of a lot of change, you know. But it's like I'm wanting a whole lot of new people around me. But also with the both of you, what you're spending.
Okay.
What you're spending through until your next birthday.
Okay.
Roger.
That's a bit late. We've been doing so much online shopping of recent times. But,
and Helen and I, we can just go out and be free and play together and just
Oh yeah, because you know, and the thing is that with the year vibration with Helen and Catherine, it's like, Helen, you go into the year in the August, but Catherine, you don't pick up that personal energy until the March. So you're like a little bit out of kilter from the August to the March, but then from the March to the August of that following year, you both are totally aligned. Totally aligned.
Yay!
Well,
it's like it's exciting.
We've had a lot of closeness. I mean, we've been friends for a very long time, but we've had a lot of closeness, different sort of closeness in the last 6 months, let's say. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
your own personal energy, Catherine, is the same energy vibration as Helen's destiny. So so that works really, really well together.
That's lovely.
With your work energy, that supports her destiny, and when she's doing her destiny, that supports you with your natural talent.
Oh, wow. Lovely.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Teymara, for joining us on the show this morning. Thank you, Helen, for bringing her in on this weekend show, and we really appreciate everybody joining and tuning in this week on The Breakfast Table. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Petey. And Helen as well, and Teymara, thank you. And we will be in touch. Tune in on Facebook for updates about The Breakfast Table, and have a great Sunday, everyone.
Happy
Thanks
Sunday.
for joining us.
Thank
Bye.
Have a great time.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Loved it.